Hey there, friends! Get ready to dive into a part of our planet's history that will absolutely blow your mind. Forget about towering skyscrapers, bustling cities, the internet, or even the very concept of humanity. Imagine a world where every sunrise brought an unpredictable fight for survival, and the dominant beings were creatures so magnificent and terrifying that even the wildest sci-fi screenwriters couldn't dream them up. Let's rewind about 100 million years. Earth looked completely different back then. This was an era when our planet was ruled, without question, by true monsters, the dinosaurs. These giants were awe-inspiring. Some of them were so colossal that even the tallest modern buildings we see today would have looked like mere toys next to them. Picture the sheer force of their jaws. Capable of crushing bones in an instant, they were perfectly engineered machines for survival. And their speed? Some species could thunder across the land at up to 55 miles per hour. That's faster than even the most powerful sports cars you can imagine. They were the true monarchs of their age, dominating Earth for over 170 million years. It seemed their reign would never end. But then, on one fateful day, something irreversible happened that forever wiped them from the face of the planet. What exactly caused this grand catastrophe, and how could such a thing possibly occur? Get ready, because we're about to embark on an incredible journey through a history that not only changed the course of evolution, but ultimately led to the very existence of us. The word dinosaur itself holds an ancient secret, reaching us from deep within history from the ancient Greek language. It's made up of two powerful words, dinios, which means terrible or fearsome, and sauros, which means lizard. Combined, they form terrible lizard, a name that perfectly captures the essence of these ancient rulers. This term was first uttered in 1841 when the world was introduced to the first discovered fossils of these astonishing creatures. It was then that British scientist Richard Owen gave them this potent name, which has been cemented in our lexicon ever since. In those distant days, of course, our knowledge of dinosaurs was extremely limited. Early attempts to depict them based on finds like the Megalosaurus were quite rudimentary and far from reality. They looked more like mythical beasts than living inhabitants of our planet. But with each subsequent decade, with every new expedition and every fresh paleontological discovery, our understanding and image of dinosaurs became clearer, more accurate, and strikingly realistic. Today, thanks to the tireless efforts of thousands of researchers worldwide, over 10,000 fossils have been unearthed, and over 900 distinct species of dinosaurs have been identified. And what's most astonishing? This work is far from over. Imagine, every year, scientists continue to discover an average of 45 new species. Among recent finds, for instance, in Chile, a creature with a blade-like tail and a beak for a mouth. These discoveries don't just add to our knowledge, they constantly rewrite and refine the pages of our planet's ancient history. But to truly grasp their story, let's rewind time even further, back to the very beginning of this grand saga. Scientists estimate that the first dinosaurs walked the Earth approximately 230 to 240 million years ago. The oldest fossils found to date, dating back 231.4 million years, were discovered in what is now modern-day Africa. In that distant era, Earth looked completely different from today. All the continents we know, vast land masses like Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, were joined together into one colossal supercontinent known as Pangaea. The climate across this immense landmass was predominantly dry and arid, with rainfall being a rare occurrence. This period, named the Triassic, became the cradle for dinosaurs. It was then that they began their slow but steady ascent to dominance. However, these early dinosaurs were quite modest in size, nothing like the giants we usually imagine. On average, they reached no more than 6.5 feet in length. Take the Eoraptor, for example. It's often considered the ancestor of all subsequent larger and more diverse dinosaurs. At that time, the The dominant creatures on the planet were giant reptiles, some of which might even seem quite charming to us today, like the supposed ancestor of modern turtles. But their time was coming to an end, and the stage was being set for new, more adapted players. Approximately 201 million years ago, the Triassic Period abruptly, by geological standards, drew to a close, giving way to a dramatic new era. When we say abruptly, of course, we mean thousands of years of gradual yet catastrophic changes. The supercontinent Pangaea began to crack and split apart like a colossal iceberg. Along these gigantic fault lines, massive volcanic eruptions occurred, spewing immense volumes of carbon dioxide and sulfurous gases into the atmosphere. This led to a rapid and dangerous global warming. Then, as sulfur dioxide and aerosols rose high into the stratosphere, they blocked out sunlight, causing a temporary but severe cooling, which in turn quickly gave way to another wave of warming. The oceans began to acidify, transforming into a deadly environment for many marine inhabitants. The climate was changing with dizzying speed, making survival incredibly difficult. Most reptiles of that time were cold-blooded and couldn't adapt to such drastic temperature shifts, which ultimately sealed their fate. But dinosaurs, much like mammals, were warm-blooded, giving them a significant advantage in this struggle for survival. The volcanic eruptions and climatic upheavals continued for about 600,000 years, leading to the extinction of almost all other species. Only the most resilient survived: dinosaurs, crocodiles, turtles, and the first, still very small, mammals. This event, known as the Triassic-Jurassic Extinction event, marked a turning point in Earth's history, heralding the beginning of the Jurassic Period. Yes, that very Jurassic Period that inspired the famous Jurassic Park franchise and forever etched dinosaurs into popular culture. The Jurassic Period, spanning from 201 to 145 million years ago, marked a true triumph for dinosaurs. They rapidly evolved, with some reaching truly colossal sizes. Think of the early Tyrannosaurs living around 160 million years ago. Each one could weigh up to 33,000 pounds and stretch 50 feet long. These were veritable living mountains. It was during this time that many other iconic dinosaurs emerged, such as the long-necked Diplodocus and the armored Stegosaurus. Furthermore, some dinosaurs even learned to fly. One of the first feathered dinosaurs was Archaeopteryx, an amazing creature that combined features of both bird and reptile, almost peering into the future of evolution. During this period, the supercontinent Pangaea finally broke into two massive landmasses, Laurasia to the north and Gondwana to the south, foreshadowing the formation of our modern continents. And while the Jurassic Period might be best known due to cinema, it was the subsequent era that truly became the golden age for these reptiles, a period of their maximum flourishing and diversity. The Cretaceous Period, which began 145 million years ago and ended 65 million years ago, was a time of incredible dinosaur diversity. We witnessed a true explosion of new species, breathtaking to imagine. Tyrannosaurus Rex, arguably the most famous and awe-inspiring predator, lived during this period, reaching its peak dominance only towards the very end of the Cretaceous, roughly 65 to 68 million years ago. The irony? While its silhouette became the symbol of Jurassic Park, the T-Rex itself didn't exist in the Jurassic Period. The Cretaceous was the longest period of the dinosaur era. The two supercontinents Laurasia and Gondwana continued their slow but steady drift apart, and the continental arrangement began to resemble what we see today. It was then that flowering plants first appeared, and Earth's average temperature was warmer than in previous periods, creating ideal conditions for life to flourish. Sea levels were high, and the planet was teeming with every imaginable kind of dinosaur: swift raptors, mighty armored Ankylosaurus, gigantic herbivores like Argentinosaurus weighing up to 77 tons, and of course, the T-Rex, reaching 40 feet in length, a devastating predator with the most powerful jaws ever known on Earth. Fun fact, grass, which covers our lawns today, only appeared about 70 million years ago. So don't imagine grassy pastures back then, the landscape was quite different. And here's another astonishing fact. We, humans, are actually closer in time to the T-Rex than the T-Rex was to the beginning of the Jurassic Period, a difference of a full 80 million years. Also during this time lived ornithomimids resembling ostriches, capable of running at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, and the largest flying dinosaur was Quetzalcoatlus, with a wingspan of up to 36 feet. This was the most prosperous time for dinosaurs. The climate favored them, new species constantly emerged, and there were no other creatures capable of competing with them for dominance. They ruled the Earth unopposed. It seemed like it would last forever. But then, on one fateful, truly catastrophic day, everything changed forever. Approximately 66 million years ago, a colossal asteroid, estimated to be between 6 to 9 miles in diameter, slammed into Earth at tremendous speed, instantly ending the Cretaceous period and the entire age of dinosaurs. The speed of this cosmic wanderer reached an incredible 18 miles per second. That's 150 times faster than the most modern jet airliner. The impact occurred in the region of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, where millions of years later the highly developed Mayan civilization would emerge and build architectural wonders like Chichen Itza. The impact was so monstrous that it released energy equivalent to 100 trillion tons of TNT, which, to put it into perspective, is 1 billion times more powerful than the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. Everything within the vicinity of the asteroid's impact point instantly vaporized. An unimaginable amount of soil, rocks, and vapor was ejected into the atmosphere. The ground around the epicenter heated to incredible temperatures, and a fiery rain of superheated debris showered vast areas. Global temperatures surged by several degrees within hours, and all animals within thousands of miles of the impact site were literally cooked alive. It's believed that only smaller animals managed to survive, finding shelter underground, underwater, in deep caves, or inside hollow tree trunks. This was just the initial instantaneous strike. It was followed by a series of destructive phenomena: massive shock waves, new waves of scorching heat, widespread wildfires that consumed thousands of miles of land, and gigantic tsunamis reaching heights of up to 1.2 miles. Can you even begin to imagine such destructive power? Volcanic eruptions reignited on a massive scale. Acid rain poured from the sky, and Earth was shaken by powerful earthquakes. The short-term consequences were truly terrifying, but the long-term effects proved even more deadly and prolonged. Dust and tiny debris ejected into the atmosphere completely blocked out sunlight for an entire year across the entire planet, plunging Earth into what's known as a nuclear winter. Temperatures plummeted drastically, and for the next 3 years, much of Earth experienced near-freezing conditions. This killed most plants, which couldn't photosynthesize without sunlight. Herbivorous animals, deprived of food, soon followed, and then the carnivores. It was a merciless chain reaction of extinction that swept through the entire food web. Only the most adaptable survived: small omnivorous animals, mammals, lizards, turtles, and some bird species. They managed to adapt to the new conditions, scavenging on carrion, fungi, and decaying vegetation, which allowed them to endure this bleak, almost apocalyptic period. The asteroid impact also led to the destruction of carbonate rocks, which again released huge amounts of carbon and sulfur into the atmosphere, resulting in a significant reduction of sunlight for thousands of years and a continuation of acid rain. When the nuclear winter finally ended and the dust in the atmosphere settled, sunlight once again reached Earth's surface. But a new problem emerged. A massive amount of carbon dioxide had already accumulated in the atmosphere, causing intense global warming. One single asteroid changed the course of Earth's history for thousands, even millions of years. With very few exceptions, no four-legged creature weighing more than 55 pounds could survive this catastrophic event. All terrestrial dinosaurs went extinct. Along with them, over 75% of all plant and animal species that once thrived on Earth simply vanished. Thus concluded the Cretaceous Period, the Age of Dinosaurs, and a new era began, the Paleogene Period. But this wasn't the end of all life. Rather, it was a dramatic new beginning. The extinction of the dinosaurs, these undisputed rulers of the planet, presented an unprecedented opportunity for other species. It is precisely because of this event that we, humans, have reason to be grateful. It provided a vital chance for the rapid evolution of mammals. The enormous gaps in the food chain left by the vanished dinosaurs were quickly filled by various mammalian species that had previously lived in their shadow. During this period, the ancestors of horses, whales, bats, and even primates, our direct ancestors, emerged. Simultaneously, numerous species of snakes and smaller lizards began to flourish. Interestingly, the only group of dinosaurs that managed to survive the catastrophe were the flying dinosaurs. Gradually, over millions of years of evolution, they transformed and became the birds we see today. Yes, you heard that right. The birds singing outside your window are direct descendants of dinosaurs. Most scientific studies confirm that birds belong to the same family as dinosaurs, and the closest living relatives of the formidable T-Rex today are chickens and ostriches. So perhaps the most dangerous predator in Earth's history now looks quite harmless and peacefully roams farmyards.
Perhaps after all these astonishing facts, you're left wondering, how exactly did we pinpoint the location and date of that asteroid impact? The evidence lies in a rare and very specific mineral, iridium. Scientists discovered that in certain places on Earth, the concentration of iridium in the soil is abnormally high, even though this element is extremely scarce on our planet. However, it is found in abundance in comets and asteroids. Further research using carbon dating showed that this iridium layer is precisely 66 million years old. Such a phenomenon could only have occurred as a result of a massive asteroid impact, which, upon explosion, spread this mineral across the entire planet. And what about the crater itself? An event that occurred 66 million years ago certainly wouldn't have left a crater in its pristine form due to the continuous movement of continents and geological processes. However, the crater, named Chicxulub, is hidden beneath the surface of the Yucatan Peninsula. Numerous geological studies and drilling expeditions have confirmed its existence and precise location. If you look at a map, half of this giant crater lies underwater, while the other half is on land. One of the most amazing real-world testaments to this ancient impact are the numerous cenotes, natural sinkholes in the limestone filled with water, which form a clear ring around the hidden crater. Today, these are popular tourist attractions where you can even swim in crystal-clear underground pools. These cenotes, in essence, are silent witnesses to one of the greatest catastrophes in Earth's history. After this thrilling and at times terrifying story of the asteroid impact, a pressing question likely arises for all of us. What would happen if a similar asteroid were to strike Earth today? Would humanity go extinct? The threat undeniably exists, and it's very real. Asteroids that could potentially collide with Earth in the foreseeable future are known as Near-Earth Asteroids. But there's good news too. NASA and other space agencies worldwide continuously track these objects, tirelessly calculating their trajectories and the probability of impact with our planet. As of April 2022, over 28,000 such asteroids have been identified, with more than 800 having a diameter of 0.6 miles or more. This is, of course, a daunting figure, but today we don't need to be overly fearful. Scientific calculations are so precise that we can predict each asteroid's path, determine the likely impact site, and estimate the chances of a collision. And if an asteroid truly threatens Earth, we know what to do. This very idea formed the basis of NASA's innovative DART mission,
launched in 2021. The goal was to collide a spacecraft with an asteroid to alter its trajectory. And this idea has already been successfully implemented. In September 2022, a successful test was conducted altering the path of an asteroid that was not threatening Earth. If we could do it with one asteroid, we can likely do it with others in the future, protecting our planet.
But that doesn't mean there's no danger at all. On the contrary, the greatest threat today doesn't come from space, but from ourselves. The asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs caused the fifth mass extinction event in Earth's history. Scientists believe that the sixth mass extinction has already begun. But it's not caused by volcanoes or asteroids. It's driven by unprecedented human activity. This event has been named the Holocene Extinction. Over the past 100 to 200 years, we've witnessed an unparalleled loss of biodiversity. Species of animals and plants are going extinct at an alarming rate due to human impact. Biologists unanimously agree this is indeed a mass extinction, with rates 100 to 1,000 times higher than natural background levels. Deforestation, pollution of oceans and the atmosphere, destruction of natural habitats, all these factors are endangering thousands of species of mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians. Many are already on the brink of extinction or have already vanished due to human actions. To halt this destruction, a crucial United Nations Convention on Biodiversity meeting was held in Japan in 2010, where 20 biodiversity targets were established, with a deadline set for 2020. Unfortunately, only 6 of them were partially achieved. In January 2020, a new Paris-style plan was proposed, similar to the Paris Agreement on Climate, with the aim of preventing the collapse of biodiversity and ecosystems, with a deadline set for 2030. Its objective is to ensure that 30% of land in oceans are designated as protected areas, and to reduce pollution by at least 50%. Scientists propose limiting the number of extinctions to 20 species per year or fewer. We have yet to see how many of these targets will be met, but one thing is clear: these measures are critically important for our future. If the extinction of species continues at the same rate as in past mass extinctions, it's possible that humanity itself may not survive. It's interesting to note that, according to calculations, humans originated only about 300,000 years ago in Africa, a mere blink in geological time. Compare that to the dinosaurs, who dominated Earth for 174 million years. That's 600 times longer than we've existed. What do you think? Can humans break the dinosaurs' record for planetary dominance? Or will we, due to our own actions, go extinct before we even reach 1 million years? The answer, clearly, depends on our collective efforts to save this amazing and fragile planet. If you were subscribed to me, you would have known these facts.